Hello everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Today I'd like to chat with you about communication. I think that more than ever today we're having challenges communicating with each other and taking positions and stands that are causing such intense conversation. A lot of estrangement that we talk about a lot here on 60andMe is the result of simple words that have like combusted into an argument that creates life-changing dysfunction and separation. And I just think that it's worthwhile looking at the words that can have an impact on a conversation and offering some suggestions, some options. Now, I've got a cup of tea this morning. I'm actually drinking a green tea. And I'm just doing this because I feel like I need a cup of tea for this conversation. So one sec. So get a cup of tea, sit down, relax. We're going to talk about a difficult subject, bridging differences and fostering consensus and compassion in diverse, conversations. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of times it's just a simple word. It can be a sentence, something that someone says that just is the breaking point and either ends the relationship altogether or creates such tension that it's ongoing. It's like an ongoing pain that's gnawing at you. And trying to improve communications, I think, is just a goal that I'd like to kind of help work at here at 60andMe, because I think as we get older, we do get set in our ways. And I think we do find ourselves saying things that are not going to take the conversation forward, but more ingrain our position of being right. So here's I think it's about 10 different words and phrases that you can say that are harmful, that you may want to change. And I've got some suggestions at the end for different phrases that you can use. So the first one is, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's wrong. It's not true. And when you say that kind of thing, it's almost immediately going to put the other person on the defensive. And they're going to want to say, well, of course it's right. I mean, here, I've got the information, I've got the facts. I mean, and if you say that you're wrong, it just creates such a barrier. So that's one to avoid, saying you're wrong or that's wrong. I can't believe you think that. I just can't believe you think that. And what is that doing? Well, it's just making them feel like, well, what's the point? I mean, you don't believe me. I mean, you don't trust me. I have nothing to say. Try to ask for clarification, and to move have a curiosity about the viewpoint, but don't, sort of simply say, I can't believe you say that. I can't believe you believe that. You always or you never. You always say that, or you never do this or do that or say this. And when you say that kind of thing, it's going to lead to a negative response. It's going to be defensive. It's going to be, of course I don't do it all the time. I did it this one time, I'm sorry. No, but you never do. And then it escalates. So you never do, or you always, are another couple of phrases to maybe consider letting go. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. That's a kind of a comment that's just basically going to make them feel like you're minimizing their value. You're not taking them seriously. How can something be ridiculous if they believe in it or they believe it's to be true? You can't say, it's better not to say that's just stupid or that's ridiculous, and try something else. I've got some ideas. But is a negative. It just stops the conversation in their tracks. Someone comes to you, they've got a great idea. I want to do this. I'm thinking of doing that. And you say, oh, that's fine. That's a good idea. But, and then it's like everything they've said is been forgotten, and everything that goes forward is non-existent. So but is a really, really difficult word. Better to use the word and. I mean, and for example, I'm going to move to Italy and, start a new life there and, start a business and, just become who I truly want to be. And then the person says, yes, but you don't know how to speak Italian. You don't know anything about Italy. You don't know how to do that business. You've never had any financial, on and on. Why not just say, well, that's an interesting idea. You could learn to speak Italian and maybe do some language teaching when you're in Italy. English is a foreign language. Difference. If you truly don't think they should go to Italy, then you've got some reasons, and you then say, well, let me just give you my suggestions, or can I give you some input? Get permission before you go on with the but. My way is the only way. This shuts down conversations, and people that do this. My way is the only way. And this, I won't say where this might apply, but there's certain kinds of categories of people that would think that my way is the only way because they're invested in it. This is their life. This is what they believe in. This is their thing. But to say it like, this is my way, no way, it's not going to work. If you're trying to build conversation, if you're trying to build a relationship with someone, you should do this, or you need to do this. Margaret, you need to fix your eyebrows. People say this to me all the time. Why would you say that? I like my eyebrows. But the point is that, you know, you say you should do this or you need to do this. You immediately get defensive and say, no, I don't. I don't need to do that, or I shouldn't have to do that. And so, you know, you can express your concerns or your preferences. You know, if you're an expert at something and you have some concrete, you know, suggestion that's constructive, then that's okay. But if you're just saying it to, like, you need to do this, or you should do this, you should cut your hair. I did that. Okay, I did that. So another one is, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Now, I actually use this one quite a bit, to be honest. I don't care, but it doesn't matter. I care a lot, but the second one, it doesn't matter. I use that because in some ways, as you get older, you know, you have a discussion about something and someone is so set in their ways that they only want to talk about it from their perspective. And then you just have to almost say, I wouldn't say it out loud necessarily, but I always say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The friendship's more important than the question that I had or the belief or the thing that I'm curious about or concerned about. Just say it doesn't matter. But that can actually, you know, be hurtful. So maybe saying, I know it's important to you, but it doesn't matter to me. It should matter to you, but not matter, if you know what I mean. You know the difference. You're just too sensitive. You're overreacting. Here we go again with emotions. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel like, you know, excuse me, I'm not too sensitive. You know, this is my experience. And by saying that to them, you're just too sensitive, or you're overreacting, you're just minimizing their experience. You're minimizing the trauma. You're minimizing whatever it is that created the need for them to say that. Another one is, that's a waste of time. I give up on this. Giving up hinders your progress. You know, you're not going to get ahead at all. If you keep staying engaged and keep the conversation going, then it's not a waste of time. It's a learning experience. So what can you do that's going to help you overcome some of these sentences and these paragraphs that are, you know, phrases that are going to hurt or not guide a conversation forward? First one is, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. And then you can even say, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I see where you're coming from. Why not? Try to see where they're coming from. Can you help me understand your position better? Just help me understand your viewpoint in more detail. And then stop. Don't say any more words. Let them give you their viewpoint. And then maybe it's back to, I see where you're coming from. You've got to judge at some point whether the friendship is worth more than the deep hurdles that you sometimes have to overcome. Another one to say is, let's find some common ground. There's got to be some point that we can find common ground. I appreciate your input. I often say to my eyebrow commentators, thank you so much for your constructive feedback. Tell me more about your experience. That's another one to get more information, because I think with more information, you get more understanding. Another one is, how can we work together to find a solution? I think that's a really good one, actually. Or if I may not agree, but I do respect your right to your opinion. I may not agree, but I do respect your right to your opinion. Or, look, let's explore some different perspectives. Let's explore together. Let's explore some different perspectives. Another one that I really, really like is, what do you think a compromise would look like here? I often do this with my grandchildren. Baba, can we have 10 francs to do something? How about 3 francs? 5? What would be a middle ground? Could we find some common ground? I'm just joking. That's not a good example, but you know what I mean. It's the idea of, looking for common ground and finding your common goal. I mean, you may agree with the tactics, you may agree with the way that things are being, dealt with in the world or in your life or in your community or in your, your friendships, but there is some common ground, even if it's just simply that we both want peace on this planet, or we both want, people to be kind to each other, or people to talk to each other in a more compassionate way. There's a bottom line, that we can find. I know there's different views about all kinds of things, but at the heart of it, there's a desire for goodness, or for our children, or goodness for the community, or for the world. And if we can find those common grounds, that's a good place to start, don't you think? Well, I hope this has been useful. I'd love to know what you think about this. Do you find yourself saying any of those negative words? And have you found this some alternative words helpful for you? Maybe the next time you're in a conversation that's turning into an argument, you can try some of these out. How do we work together to find a solution to this? I know it sounds so easy, doesn't it? It's not, but I'm just hoping that you've got a glimmer of something that will help you here. And I'm going back to my cup of tea, and I'll see you all later. Take care.